So I just wanted to showcase one of the thing, which is, if I make this bigger, you could see this homing missile. This is just for showcase. I'll make a tutorial later on how I achieved this. But basically what I was trying to do was trying to create this magic homing missile, which I was able to do it around here by copying that tutorial. So you could see. And the problem with this is that everything is done in Niagara particles, so each one of them is spawned in Niagara particles, but which is same as this video by Breeze Game Studios. But I questioned in Discord, like, how can I make this actually do damage to player, and everybody was like, you shouldn't use Niagara particles to actually do that. You should actually use like a blueprint and then connect a projectile to it. And I was able to actually do it with just Niagara particles, but I think it's just not good way to do it. I don't know if I can show you guys right now. Let me see. I'm recording, so it is going to be a bit laggy. Basically, yeah, here damage box. So what I was doing previously was I was getting like when it is colliding, whenever it collides, just spawn this damage box. Basically I will spawn a damage box wherever it has connected, and then if my character overlaps, I should have used like line trace, but still I don't think that's a good way to do it, because like everybody was saying that's not a good way, it takes too much calculation and all. So this is the second version, in which what I did is, if I go back and play again, you could see I'm basically spawning 5 projectiles every time I click left. I don't know how to change targets and all dynamically, so right now this cylinder is getting destroyed. There's also a spark that I've spawned there, and then also a sound when it hits. I also don't know how to remove this. Like, you see, it keeps going back and then keeps rotating. I don't know how to reduce that, but let me show what I've done basically. So in my magic missile, which one it is? Okay, this one. I have just created a single magic missile like this. It looks a bit weird in here, I don't know why. So if I reduce this, it's just one magic missile, which is basically spawning like 100. I don't know how to like, is 100 good? Like, is spawning 100 particles like this good, or is it too much? I made it 0.2 seconds uniform, and then added some curl noise force so that it like moves weirdly rather than going in a simple way. There's also scale, so it like reduces as it goes down. So when you see this, it makes this small trail like area, I guess, or not trail like, but it does create like this trail like shape basically. For example, if I add a velocity in here, why is it not moving? Not sure why is it not moving. Okay, when doing lot it moves. How about 500? Okay, there we go. So you could see it gets smaller, so it looks like it's like a trail. And then embers are basically just spawning from this one, like 10 per instance. And then I don't know if we can even see in here. No, we cannot see it because we disabled this, right? So these are spawning, but I don't know why it looks like this in here, but in this game it is working perfectly. Basically spawning from another particle, doing curl noise force so that it moves weirdly. This is only one missile that I've made. In that tutorial, what was happening was, okay, not this one. In that tutorial, you made like lots of stuff like this, and then you actually moved it to a location. And this one, this is just impact, basic impact, and it only plays once. So it is set to play once. Then we don't use this. Okay, so this is my, okay, not this one. So in my first person blueprint, because I wanted to test around here, when I do a left click, I loop it 5 times, so 0 to 4 5 times, and I do this stuff. And what this is it's basically spawning my this missile, which is, oops. So what this is doing is it's spawning this projectile, which is again projectile movement. And all I've simply done is added a Niagara, actually added a collision box, made it the parent, and then there's a sound that plays when it is as soon as it spawns. I've also made it like 0.1 because 5 of them are spawning at once, right around here, 5 of them. So I made it lower so that if it sounds like 5 times, then it would be way louder if I keep it at 1. I don't know if there's like a better way where I only spawn, or I only play once, which might be better, I guess, rather than doing 0.1, because it will spawn 5 audio elements, right? So that might not be good for optimization. Then we have projectile movement, and in here, if I go to homing, I've set this to untick, but I've set the acceleration to 5000 so that it works the homing stuff. And in the event graph, what I do is first we set a homing target. So again, if we check this, it's a scene component. All I did was selected this projectile movement and did like set homing component, and then did promote to where is it, promote to variable. It creates this, and then I made sure to make this expose on spawn, so that in my BP first person character I get this what you call this pin. If this pin does not show, just delete this and add this spawn actor again. Okay, then after a delay of 0.5 seconds, I set the homing projectile, which is here we set it to false, right? So after 0.5 seconds I make it to be what you call projectile. It should be working as a projectile, homing projectile, so it goes around that item which is set around here. And this is actually gotten from my first person character, where you could see on spawn point we are actually saying that in the homing target, basically I created an actor, took its root component because it needs to be a scene component, we cannot directly connect. And this one I have set this variable around here, which is basically it is looping through all actors that have the target, all actors who have the target, and I'm getting the 0th one because I only have one. Okay, not a good way to do it, but basically this gets this what you call the cylinder. And if we search for tag, I've given it in actor tag target. This is the only one, so obviously it's, if I do 0, it's only going to get that one. But I don't know how to do like dynamic targeting, which is why I just hard coded this value for now. We set this homing target, and then we send this homing target message to the projectile around here. It sets that homing target around here for the this one, but we don't instantly make. So if I make this to, let's say, 2 duration, you can say it's just going up, and then maybe too much. Let's reduce that. But see, after 1 second it gets like this, so it does not get homing instantly, so it creates this nice variation, I guess, where it is actually first spreading everywhere. But this spawn, not this one, and I've also set it to lifespan of 10, so in case it does not get hit anywhere, then it will basically after 10 seconds, or it's like in 10 seconds it will just get destroyed, even if it does not hit something. So here you could see in this box collision on component hit, I've set that at impact point spawn the impact animation, which is Niagara animation, auto destroy, auto activate, all that stuff, play sound at location, and then destroy actor. This one is automatically getting destroyed, so we don't need to do that, and we are destroying all this stuff. I also had to do is make this one go into this one, set it to like block everything except the pawn and except the projectile, so ignore other projectile and ignore other pawn. In this one, what I'm doing is, in my character I've added an arrow component, which is shooting arrow, and for this spawn location of the projectiles, right? So I'm getting the world location of the shooting arrow, and then I'm getting the relative location. So based on this one, what I did was actually went like this and then tried to see which values I should be using, not this one. So if I, let's say, move up and down, I can basically see that, okay, I need to get from 0 to around 90, and then from 90 to minus 90, like this. So that would be the direction on how much it can shoot. So here you could see that X, I just gave it same because we don't want any difference. Here I said minimum 45 to 90, and then for the Z I said minus 90 to 90. So basically, how do I get this back? Report. There we go. So basically it will shoot from like 45 to 90 like this, and then it will take random value between this and this. So it spawns in like different directions, and then gave it to the spawn transform rotation. Scale gave it 0 or like same, no changes. So that's how I basically did. I, instead of creating it in the Niagara project or emitter or system, basically I set a projectile moment, gave it only one of it, and then basically spawning 5 projectiles. I know there's like an object pooling method for better stuff where we don't have to destroy and activate, but I don't know how to do that. So this is what I have. I will be creating a video on how to like going step by step, but again, when I get the time, I'll do it. But for now, let's just see. Also, if I go like very far, I'll create a video, okay? So if you want to know the tutorial, let me just know. Another thing, if I press shift, I'm not able to do left click. I don't know why. If I do shift, I'm not able to do left click. And you could see that because it does not go like much further, it goes into the ground. So I need to be a bit closer. I think it has to do with like the homing and speed, settings. So I think in the projectile you need to make sure the initial speed is like decent. I've also set rotation follows velocity. I don't know if it's important or not. And I've also went into homing and set this to, let's say if I set it to 10,000, it would be like very quick. You could see it like does not feel much homing, but it is working. I think let's do 1000 and see how this looks. You can see it does not have much power anymore, the acceleration. So keep this value at decent, and if you tick this instantly, then it would look a bit weird. For example, looks like it is going instantly rather than first shooting outwards and then going like this. Yeah, so that's all. I'll create a tutorial later.